Hi guys, welcome to another amazing video from Overbite Gaming, and today we are doing a review of a game. We're not sat side by side, we're doing it in lockdown.
Lockdown beards at the ready. His is really good. Look at his. He's ironically ready to be homeless.
This beard is getting phenomenally big now. Like, I'm looking like a proper hobo.
How did you control it? Mine's barely under control. I got wax and oil in it.
Why would you do that?
To stop it going poof.
Well, mine can go poof, but then I can just flatten it down a little bit.
Yeah, mine don't want to stay flat and it's too curly. It wants to curl up here. It's like...
Now, this isn't a chit-chat. This is business.
Business. So, yes, as Snare has intimated, we are indeed doing a review. And that review is of a game called Change by Delve Interactive. I looked it up.
I did too, just in case you forgot. But let's christen the review, because we're not actually like doing a lot today. It's just
we're drinking, smashing.
I've got a bit of Hobgoblin Ruby on the go, just in case you were wondering.
Well, my girlfriend started buying me this cheap stuff. But it's strong and it comes in 500ml cans. It's Perlenbacher.
That's a Heineken. What's that Heineken like? How can you make Heineken cheaply? It is cheap. That looks disgusting.
It tastes nothing like Heineken. It's not bad. It tastes a little bit like Beck's, just a little bit.
We're not doing beer reviews. Anyway, that was just a quick christening. Cheers to video games.
Cheers to video games and being homeless.
Yeah. See, I'm drinking a can and I have a beard like this. All I need is an anorak.
Well, you also need cheap, strong lager.
So today's game is Change, which is what I thought was a phenomenal little title, and then convinced Lee to buy it and play it.
Did you? Yes, you did. We talked about it, and then you went, "You should buy that." I'm like, "Okay." That was the extent of convincing. You were just like, "Buy it." I was like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah. So the game itself is it's a homeless simulator. That's the best way to describe it. It's so I'll have some game footage up around us somehow. I'll work it out in the edit.
Yes, you can green screen me.
I can't green screen you, mate. It's too bright behind you. Anyway, yeah, so this game is based on trying to pull yourself out of the gutter, as it were. You start off with nothing or something, depending on which character you pick to play as. And you have to earn money by picking trash, begging on the street, getting jobs eventually, studying up in the library, trying to stay warm in the winter, all the kind of things you put around the idea of being homeless, but it does it in a way that makes you actually feel like you've got to make decisions on sacrifices, I think is the best way to put it. And that's the bit that grabbed me, was not necessarily how good it looks, because it's a pixelated 8-bit looking style of game.
It's more 16, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, 16-bit, but it's got that pixelated, look to it. But the number of times I had to make a decision whether to stay warm or eat, stuff like that, it was a real crunch decision, and you only get a certain amount of time in the day before you have to find somewhere to sleep, and that might be in a shelter, it might be out in the street, who knows. So what were your first impressions, Lee, anyway? Or like when you started playing it, were you like, oh, this is shit? Or
No, I actually enjoyed my time with Change. I finished it. Well, I thought I finished it. I've just been informed I should finish it twice to actually finish it.
Three times.
3 times. Yay.
So the reason for that is the basic normal first time through mode is a mode called Poverty, where you start off with about, I don't know, $3 in your pocket or something.
Pounds. It's English pounds.
Okay, £3 in your pocket, and then you have limits. It's quite a balanced approach. It doesn't have too many things that can go wrong. It doesn't have too many things that can go right. Some things are unlocked as the more time you play through it. So it's a little bit roguelite, but it gives you a basic experience. You can have other characters involved in, or how you start. So you can have somebody that's based around mental illness, someone who's been abandoned, and military veteran, that kind of thing.
I think there's an addict as well, isn't there?
Yes, yeah, there is an addict.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them come with different parts, and the most interesting one for me was the one with mental illness, because you basically had a switch that would go from day to day saying manic or depressive. So it would amplify good and bad things, or it would reduce the amount that those good and bad things do for you. The amount of rest you can get overnight, or the amount of food hunger is replaced by food, that kind of thing. And
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I only played the poverty one because I didn't know I was supposed to play through more than once for the sake of this review. Thanks. But I actually found it relatively easy if you're patient. I never had to sleep on a park bench. I was hungry maybe a few times just at the early start of the game where you don't have any money. Once I got a job and got residency at a shelter, it was all sort of falling into place, and it became like it's a game that's all about routine, I think, and I really fucking like routine.
Well, one of the interesting parts when I was getting used to the game, I think I had maybe 1 or 2 playthroughs and fail until I realised how to win or how to progress in the game. It's not a game for the ages. You're not going to be playing this for hundreds of hours. You definitely will be digging in for maybe 10 to 15, maybe, I think is a pretty good estimate.
Yeah, I think that's fair. My first completion took me 2 hours. In fact, it's on the screen now. It took me 2 hours, and I certainly wasn't rushing. And the fact that I'd had I had more than enough for a flat, but couldn't find the estate agency.
Get a bus.
Then I didn't figure. I can even work out how to use my bank account now.
That's just to stop you getting mugged. It's
yeah, and of course I get mugged in the shelter and end up with like £18 left. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I had like 320.
Well, one of the nice things I do like about it is the same reason I've liked a lot of games in this fashion, like Noita and Dead Cells. All of those feelings of it can be different every time you play it. Different things pop up, and that was a real draw to kind of play through the second and third time to see what was different. The big thing for me was the perks and the sort of debuffs that happen as you play through. You can buy certain items to, get more hygiene when you have a shower, or you can study faster, and get more benefit from the study, which is you need to do in order to get a job, and to get a job to get the money, and then not lose the money. I didn't get mugged once though, so I don't know why the banks are there. That never happened to me.
Yeah, I did. I was fairly wary about using the banks because apparently, if you lose residency in your shelter, you lose access to your bank account.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, do I really want to put it there? And then I got mugged, and it all went.
That's my point from earlier. You had to make a decision on, what if, and that's probably a decision that homeless people go through every single fucking day.
Well, especially as the first shelter that I actually went into and got residency in was closed on me by the council. And I was like, oh, I'll find another one then, you bastards.
Yes, that's an important point. So as the time goes on, the levels of anti-homelessness increase over time. So at the start, you can go through trash cans, you can beg for money, and then they suddenly clamp down. So you have policemen walking around, and if you get caught begging, they'll tell you off. You get caught begging again, they'll tell you off a bit more sternly. And then the third time, they'll cut you off to jail, spend the night in the cells, and then get moved on. So all of your residency's gone, all your money in your bank is gone, etc. I found it absolutely enticing as a game. Nice and chilled out, nice and slow. You can pause at any time. And as long as you've got a game plan, it will work for you. But the process of finding that game plan was the part that I think this game really excels at. Because
definitely. I mean, it changes. So at first, you're trying to eat. You're trying to make sure you get to the shelter before you're locked out, and you're also like working these jobs that you get picked up by a car. And So, and sometimes that won't pay you. So there's like a percentage bar on how much you ask for. And if you ask for too low, they just go fuck off anyway, which is weird. Why wouldn't you want free labor? And then you get to the point where you've got residency, you've studied a lot of the library, which gets your knowledge up. And then you get a better chance of getting an actual job. And once you've got the actual job, it just becomes, okay, get up from the shelter, go have a wash, make sure I've got food, go to work, come back, pick up bits of litter and turn it in, because why turn up your nose at free money? and then go back to the shelter again, and it just keeps on going like that. And you get into sort of this cycle of doing it, and then before you know it, you're getting raises. Everybody at work trusts you, and then you get mugged for £250 in the shelter.
Not if you've got mental illness, you don't.
They don't want to mess with the crazy guy.
Well, one of the debuffs you get as a mental illness sufferer in the game is that you suffer. I don't know if it changes because I've only played that through once, but I had the debuff of autism, so I didn't like dealing with people, and I had trouble at work, and I didn't like doing things at work. So when I had a day at work, I used to get told off for performing poorly, even though I was hygienic, I was not hungry, I was fully studied up to the top max level. But I just couldn't get on with people at work, so I lost my job. And then because I lost my job, I couldn't get another one for a while. So I had to spend money on food and hygiene, and it just went round and round and round and round and round in the circle. And then the first time playing through the mental illness, I actually failed it because I didn't anticipate these extra burdens on somebody that's homeless and with the mental illness. It was mind blow. It was a little mini mind blow, like.
I had to look at you then. Sorry. So what does a fail state with mental illness look like then?
Oh, it's much the same. I mean, the end point is similar, but the way you fail at the game, I don't know if you've actually failed it properly, or did you just complete it the first time through?
No, I just completed it first time through. Apparently I have an affinity for scrounging.
You've just gone really loud in my ear.
Sorry.
But one of the things that happens is you get to a certain level of mental health, so your happiness. And I think under 40 out of 100, you don't want to go to work, and you don't want to do anything apart from. Well, you can drink alcohol. That was the part that screwed me over because you get addictions as well. And smoking and drinking makes you happy in change.
Apparently, my happiness is under 40.
So as you basically get underneath 40, you get depressed, so you lose happiness every day. So it literally goes like that, and you end up having no way of getting serious money, and no way, because when you're working, you actually get a little bit of happiness if you've got some perks. So if you've got the right perks, you can come out of that. But if you don't, you wallow and wallow and wallow, and you get down to zero. And when you get down to zero for a number of nights, I think, then you literally have a little cinematic thing where it's a hand with some change being put in it, and it's like, this is my life now. And it's very somber as an ending. But one of the nice things the game does is that it starts to desaturate everything. So it goes from this, like, when you're 100% happy, very colourful, like 16-bit life going on. And as you get worse and worse and worse, you end up with black and white and just a vignette around things. It just feels horribly bleak. And it's another little touch. I'm like, that's fucking good. Good game design. Well done.
Well, I think it's very much a game born of wanting to tell a message, because I think I've read somewhere that the developers, some of them at least, were homeless for a while.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they're basically telling the tale of homeless people to us, lucky fuckers with jobs and houses and all that, so we can appreciate what they go through rather than just thinking smelly guy that wants money.
Yeah, and that's the point. We are privileged from not having ever had to have been through that, and I think that's important to remember. But the way it's translated, it felt very similar to the feelings we had when we did Senua's Sacrifice, in how it's portraying mental illness in a game format. And I think this does the same thing for homelessness, not on the same graphical level and stuff, but the same principle of, this is what it's like from an entertainment point of view, but still carrying a message. I think that's how I feel about the game.
Yeah, although you don't go mental at a shelter with a sword or anything like that.
No, but
no. Unless it's like one of those nights I was lucky enough not to get. Because there is a tremendous amount of RNG when you stay at a shelter. You can influence it by basically giving money to your fellow homeless people and sort of protecting them and trying to do right by them and not stealing from them and stuff like that. And what will happen is, instead of getting mugged, one will go, nah, not him.
He's a good one. Yeah,
he's a good one. Yeah,
yeah. It happens fairly frequently. It's not difficult to have a good rep. That might be something they want to think about making a bit more difficult. But did you venture into the park?
I did not. I got friendly with some of the homeless people and sort of got the option to go to the park with them. But I was like, well, I don't know where that is. I don't know how to get back to my shelter. I don't know how to get back to my job. I'm not going to risk it. Piss off with your park.
Well, one of the perks you can get is a bus pass, which allows you free bus rides.
Yeah, I didn't even know there were buses.
So you can take the bus to anywhere and then jump back. But there's so many little bits and pieces you can experience while playing the game, and it's just a phenomenal. It's a phenomenal indie title, and I think they need a bit of praise. That's why I wanted to cover it as a review, because it does so much more than just a game to play.
Yeah, and even the good ending is very melancholy, or at least the first ending that I got. I won't say what it is on camera, but yeah, it's pretty melancholy.
Yeah, it is.
It does leave you with the impression, and you're like, oh, it's kind of depressing. But overall, I would highly rate the game. It's not going to make game of the year for anybody or anything like that, but it's a really interesting experience, and it gives you some insight into what these poor people have to go through on a daily basis, where you're moaning that you have to go to fucking work. They're moaning because they haven't got anything to eat or smell.
Yeah, yeah. I often wonder about things having things in my possession to smell.
Right?
That's what you just said. Having things to smell. Never mind. It was wasted on you. Came out wrong. I think I understand what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, they worry about going up to people and being smelly, I guess, because I would.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think with I mean, I don't expect this review to go on for hours and hours and hours at all.
No, it's a fairly sort of simple loop. Along with the happiness meter you talked about, you also have hunger, and you also have
hygiene.
Hygiene, that was it. And after a while, your clothes get dirty, so you can't go above 50 on hygiene. They should go to laundrette and get your clothes done. There's shops that you can buy food from, or occasionally special items. There's stands that sell like hot dogs and that sort of thing.
Cheaper than the shops.
Cheaper than the shops, but it's always only like one item, where the shops have 3 items. Recycling, so as you go along, you pick up trash. You can carry a set amount of trash, although there are perks to increase how much more you can carry. And you take it to a recycling center, and you get like a few quid for maximum trash.
Yeah,
maximum trash.
You get extra for bagging it up in a plastic bag. You get a bonus for a certain amount if you get over a certain amount as a perk. And the perks do come flying in. It's not like you have to go and find them. It's just a matter of doing things every time.
Perks really fucking often. But it's always like you generally get a choice of 3, and then it's like pick one, and you're like, well, they're all useful at the start of the game, and then by the end of the game, you're like, well, I'm never going to be sleeping on a bench. Fuck off. I'm a high class homeless now. He doesn't like that. I can tell from his face.
So I've just got to stop. I think my door's being knocked.
Okay.
Back in a sec.
20 minutes later.
Right, so in conclusion, after that very, very sudden jump cut for him to get his shopping.
I know, it's the fucking first world problems, mate. I've been running up and down the stairs and I'm knackered and sweaty now. I'm sure no one's noticed.
The fact that it took him that long to collect his shopping just tells you how affluent and the very antonym of this game that he is.
Yeah, I'm not homeless. I just got my shopping.
Plus, look at all those books. That's showing off.
It's not showing off. It's a nice place to put them. There's my final Fighting Fantasy books.
Oh yeah, I can see
my
them,
Walking
actually.
Dead and Preacher, I think. Yeah, somewhere.
So as Stephen King's mum would say, not bad trash.
Not bad trash.
Just trash.
So in conclusion, talking of trash, what do you think about the game marks out of 10?
8 out of 10. As I said, it's a very niche experience. It's certainly, I don't want to say I enjoyed it, but I kind of did it in that sort of the way I enjoy playing The Sims sort of thing, where you're looking after needs and trying to get more money, and occasionally your house catches on fire and then you have to start over again. Except there's no houses, so I guess just your trash can in this case. But yeah, I did enjoy my time with it from that aspect. I think it was a really worthwhile experience playing, and the actual gameplay, while simple, was pretty addictive. I mean, I was quite OCD about picking up every bit of trash I came across. So if I was like right outside the door of the shower and it was almost curfew time, and there's just a bit of trash to the right of the screen, I was like, oh, what do I do?
found that too. Yeah, that's pretty good marks. I think I'm going to have to agree with you on the mark out of 10. It's a solid indie title. I think it's about £10 on Steam.
I am actually checking now.
Good man.
It is $11.99.
Okay,
Change
so
a homeless survival experience.
Yeah, so I think in general it's good value for money. You're getting about £1 an hour, aren't you?
Oh, once you do all your playthroughs, yeah. Otherwise, you're getting like £5.50 an hour.
But it is more of an experience than a challenging game. But I did really enjoy my time with it, and like you, I was getting a bit OCD over the trash on the street, and it's. I think in general speaking terms, it had a few UI bugs or UI things that could be done better. But overall, I think,
the only time I ever begged was when I was trying to click on trash and clicked on a pedestrian because they walked in front of my cursor.
But the bad thing about the begging is that it can fuck you the other way. You can either get some money or not get some money, or get depressed and not get money.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's pointing you to not beg, which is kind of not quite the thing you'd expect in a homeless simulator. But I think general,
I think begging and going through trash cans are, well, not so much begging, but certainly going through trash cans is avoided by most players, from what I've seen on the forums.
Yeah, I mean, trash cans, as soon as you get a perk like called Iron Stomach or something, you can start eating things that are rotten and not get sick from it. But if you get sick, your hunger goes down faster, and it's just a pain in the arse unless you get fixed for some money. So I think all in all together, 8 out of 10 is a valid score, and I would recommend you giving it a shot. I don't know how I'm going to put this together on screen. I might put this to one side, or maybe like down below, because it's a bit of a parallel scroller, isn't it? So
as long as I'm the top.
No, we'll be side by side.
Spoons. I can deal with that.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. And there's not much else to say, I think. I think we covered most of the gameplay mechanics in there.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned dogs. I never got a dog, but you did unfortunately get a dog.
Yes, I got a dog, and it's a burden. It's an extra burden.
Which is kind of lucky then.
Yeah, you can get certain perks. The main reason for having a dog is it increases your begging success rate. So
it's like a hungry version of the guitar.
Yeah, you can busk as well. Did you try the busking?
I did not, no.
You get depressed while singing and playing guitar, but you make money.
He's singing.
He's a busker. He's not going to be happy. But there are certain things you can do to, there's certain perks like getting a sign in a empty cup that increases your, if you go to sleep on a bench, then you get more money if you've got a sign in a cup and a dog, so that you can actually spend more time out on the streets. Little things like that. You
don't get hipsters just walk by you and go, "Oh, so cliche." Ugh.
No, I don't think they're addressing the fact of hipster. Mind you, a hipster simulator might be an interesting next journey.
Only if you can beat the fuck out of them.
No, you would just kill yourself straight away, wouldn't you? You're the most hipster person I know.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, look at my Gundam figures. They're so cool.
They are cool.
Sure.
Those took 7 hours each to build, you bastard.
Oh, so cute.
Master grade.
So, yeah, I think that's all to say about Change the Homeless Simulator. Definitely check it out and let us know down in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff helps out the channel. And we have content coming out every Wednesday and Saturday, so check back then.
Yeah, and if you do happen to subscribe, which we would really appreciate, as Snare said, don't forget to ring that bell, and then you'll get notifications come through when we release a video, if YouTube wants to.
Maybe, yeah, for one time or another. But yeah, it's been fun. I do like this version of doing the reviews in camera.
That's because you have to smell me.
Exactly. But also, you just stare blindly into the lens, and it's kind of quite creepy.
Well, I'm doing it on purpose because I don't want to look at the screen with you on, because then I won't be looking at the camera.
You can look over there. Look over there. It's fine.
Look at the camera!
Well, maybe look at the camera when you're talking to the camera rather than just eyeballing it. You fucker.
This is my good side, though.
Oh, do you like the
Fun.
T-shirt? Jablinski Games.
What?
It's Jack Black.
Oh, this is why I don't know, because I think he needs a slap and looks like a frog.
Nah, he's a legend. But I think I've had it for ages, but sadly, like the whole Jablinski Games phenomenon has kind of died a little bit.
So when he
But
did a YouTube channel,
yes, that is his YouTube channel, Jablinski Games.
and he got like 50 trillion subscribers without any content.
Yeah. But
I'm a fat frog. Subscribe to us.
No, you're a bearded toad at best.
That's close enough.
But yeah, guys, before we descend into madness and rambling, I think we'll cut it there, maybe. So take care of yourselves. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.
Come to me.
I don't know what to do with him, mate. Sorry.
Just cut it.